Hello, dear book dragons. I'm sorry my last film was cut off just before the end, really, and I didn't know. And as the film was quite long and I was so tired, I was like, well, I'll just post it and I'll make a new one with the last book during this week. And today I have some time to do that. And the film was cut while I was talking about this book, A Far Better Thing. H.G. Perry, and I was talking about the fairies, how you can't really see them, you can sense them. Um, I mean, most people don't know that fairies exist in this book. It's just the mortal servants that do. And during this book, um, Sydney meets a magician, a human who is not a changeling and not a mortal servant, but a magician, and he can do real magic. He sees him perform, and well, he contacts him, and he wants his help to have his revenge on Shadow. So I would say the whole of this book is really about his revenge against Shadow. But he also gets to know his own changeling. You're not supposed to meet and know your changeling, but he does, and he meets another changeling, a woman, who is his best friend's changeling, the best friend who died in the fairy world when they were kids. So that's why this book is so sad, because he, of course, sees her in this woman, even she's not a real human, really, but he still feels feelings for her. So it's a lot of complicated things going on. And it's also French Revolution. And because he goes to France, he learns that his family is actually French, his real family. And Shadow gives him well, he kind of orders him around to do things for him, things he doesn't really want to do, but Shadows is very good at tricking him. Well, he kind of orders him to kill his own uncle, and he realizes his uncle is a horrible person, so he agrees. But he finds another man who hates his uncle to do it for him. And he meets another mortal servant in Paris, or outside Paris, and grows friendship with her as well. So it is about friendship with the magician and this other not changing, mortal servant, and how they try to stay out of the fairy world and stay out of the French Revolution, which is really difficult. It was a dangerous time, and it was interesting because I read another book about the French Revolution in the autumn, Alexander Dumas. It was interesting to read about it again. Interesting to compare the ending of that book with the ending of this book, because I don't want to say too much, but they're very similar. It is no, I don't want to say. I can't say more. When I did the first video and I didn't know the camera had stopped, I realized that it talked too much about the end. But yeah, if you want to read this, know that it will be sad. You will get tearful. And when I was reading this, I was also thinking about our world today. I mean, during the French Revolution, people became so crazy. What did you say? Yeah. And anyone could be your enemy. And they turned on each other, and there was some people leading and then other people leading, and it was just such a confusing and very dangerous time, and which makes me so sad when I think about some countries in our world today is kind of similar, even if, and well, yes, people are dying, not by guillotine, but it's still people are killed, and this book made it surreal for me, even if this is a book about fairies, and it's still about a time that actually happened. That's why I think books about made-up people during a real time makes me feel so much more than just reading a history book, because the author is so good at making you feel for them, right? Yeah. So this is a 5-star read. So good. I really recommend it. But it is dark. Just, you're warned. And the last book I read in January is Echo North by Joanna Ruth Meyer. Also a 5-star read. Such a fantastic book. Totally amazing. If I can only choose one favorite book of my month, it would be this book. If I do have 3, because it's this one, the one I just talked about, and the Once Upon a Wardrobe. So yeah, I had a really good month. This is a book about a mix of fairy tales, you could say. Mostly East of the Sun, West of the Moon, which is a Norwegian folk tale. We have like a Swedish version of it called Prince Hatt and the Jord, so Prince Hat and the Earth. But they're both based on an old Greek tale of Cupid and Psyche. So if you have read Cupid and Psyche, or have read the East of the Sun and West of the Moon, you will recognize quite a lot. And you know the story about this girl who, well, of course they are a little bit different, because the Cupid and Psyche, I think Cupid, I don't know, it was such a long time ago I read it. Anyway, she's not allowed to look at him during the night. They stay in the same room, they sleep in the same bed, but she's not allowed to look at him. And that's the same in this book. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. In the beginning is a story about this girl called Echo, and she's named after her mother, or that she's very similar to her mother. It's very sweet in the beginning. She has a wonderful childhood, a lovely father and a lovely brother, but her mother died when she was born. So the beginning is really sweet, and but then, as in the classic fairy tales, her father decides to remarry, and before that happens, Echo meets a wolf in a forest, who's been trapped, and she helps him get loose. And for some strange reason, after she's helped him, he marks her in the face, so she has like a big mark all over the face. And after that, everyone in this small village where she lives is very skeptical and rude to her, because they think she's been marked by the devil. So she has a really tough time after that. And so this woman that her father takes home is very skeptical to her. Also, even if she pretends that she's okay, she's a nasty person. And she's also using up her father's money too much. So he has a bookshop, and so Echo, of course, loves books and stories and studying, and he goes missing after been traveling for a while to sell things, and after an argument with her stepmother, she leaves and goes out in the forest and finds her father almost dead, frozen, and there's a wolf there, the same wolf she met many times before, and she's seen this wolf several times. And he says, I can save your father, but you have to agree to come and live with me for a year first. Not first, but she has to agree to come with him. And in the end, she does agree because she doesn't feel she has a choice, and she's very angry at the wolf because of this. And this anger is also why this book feels so real, because in many fairy tales they just agree to things, and things just. This is so much more fleshed out than an ordinary fairy tale. It's a lot of feelings. There's a lot of things going on, and so it's strong, harsh feelings, but it's also very cute and sweet, because when she comes to his home, he lives in this magical house, who is like a sentient house. She can ask for something and she will get it. If she asks for a new dress, she'll get a new dress. And but she's not very used to that, of course. She doesn't really use it that way, not in the beginning anyway. And the wolf is, of course, a big mystery to her. And they have, as I said before, they have to sleep in the same room, and she has to agree to never look at him during the night. She's not allowed to light a candle and look at him. And she, of course, finds it very strange. Me as a reader know why, and I think most people know why, because you read the tales before. But she doesn't understand. And there's a danger in this house. There's horrible magic, like destroying rooms. So he has to teach her the magic of bindings and binding the bad magic. So that's also very interesting. And there is this amazing library in this house with books that are like mirrors. So it's not ordinary books, it's just a mirror and the name of the book. And when she touches the mirror, she gets into the story, so she can see all the people in the story and follow them around. And there she gets two friends, and a young lady and a young man. And yeah, you don't really know who they are and why are they there. And it's a little bit of mystery. There's a lot of mysteries in this book, and I loved it so much. It's just so good. And of course, as they do in these fairy tales, everything goes wrong. She's tricked, and yeah. But of course, it has a happy ending. Yes, like they should. But it's also, oh yeah, it's just so good. And she also loves to play the piano by this wolf. I mean, he can't physically play the piano, but he's been taught before by someone else. And I realized, well, because I played the piano since I was a kid, and I realized, oh, this writer really knows about music. And so it was a fun when you read about the author after the book was finished, that she is actually a musician. She is a pianist, and that's her main work. So that was like, oh, I could see that. So this book is full of magic and mystery, music, and books. So I think you definitely should read this, and I'm really looking forward to read other books by her. I borrowed this at the library, and I saw that the library has another series, or like duology by her. So yeah, I have to read them. So that was it. I've already read 5 books in February because I've been sick and home. So I already read all of these. Crazy, I know. I thought maybe I should do a video further on about reading, and not just about the books, but how I make time for reading. I don't know. Oh, yeah. I think that could be a good idea. But anyway, I'll see you soon again. Have a nice